you have reached 5552373 has been changed. There is no new listing.
What? I can't be.
The number you have reached, 5...
You know, the good thing about eating lunch this late is that you don't have to compete for a table.
Well, no wonder I'm never that hungry at dinner.
Well, Dave, good to see you. What are you doing here?
Oh, just checking on a runaway girl who collapsed in Jeff's store.
Yes, of course, the handsome girl. You're the gentleman who seemed to know so much about medicine.
Well, I should hope so. Dave, here's one of the finest surgeons I've ever known.
No, Alex was.
Oh, come on, Dave, don't be so modest. Hey, look, pull up your chair. Join us, huh?
So, how's the girl doing?
Oh, much better. She was released in Cummings' chair.
Oh, that's marvelous.
But, of course, the recovery in these kind of cases is always slow. I mean, life in the streets invariably takes its toll.
A lot more than just physically.
I don't mean to pry, but I gather you're not practicing medicine anymore.
No, just say I lost my practice to guilty conscience and to cheap booze.
Well, Dave, isn't it time that you thought about picking up your life where you left off? Hey, look, your medical license is still valid, isn't it?
Oh, just barely, Alex. Just by the grace of God. I don't know. But, you know, it's interesting that you should mention it at this time. Ever since the incident with the girl, I haven't thought about anything else but.
Look.
You know what the tragedy is? The tragedy is that that young girl is so typical of all the people that live in that area.
You know that area?
I know it pretty well. As a matter of fact, just about every alley and every trash can. I'm sorry, I used to be my own stomping ground. Alex, the people, really, they have such desperate needs down there.
Exactly. And there's no one meeting that need, at least medically.
Look, your white horse is waiting, Dr. Martin. Look, you see, Ben here has been wanting to start a clinic down there.
Don't you think it's possible?
Possible. I think it's an absolute outrage that a facility hasn't been put in yet. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of doing something about it myself.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I've only been thinking about it a couple of days, but it's certainly something worth considering.
Well, I know this may sound crazy, but I think it's not just mere coincidence that you and I have come up with the exact same conclusion.
Well, maybe God's got something to do with it.
Listen, we've got to talk some more. What are you doing for dinner tonight?
Dinner? He doesn't waste much time, does he?
I can't afford to. The need's too great.
Well,
Please. I insist.
Okay, dinner. Why not? Let's talk about it.
Alex?
No, thank you. Lisa up in medical records told me that if I don't get my charts up to date, she's personally going to request the AMA to discredit me. There is someone else you may want to ask, though, Don Quixote.
Who?
Your wife.
I almost forgot.
Oh, I won't tell her you said that.
Hey, do me a favor. Please check, okay? Because I really don't want to create a family hassle for you. If she says it's okay, I'm yours for the evening. Fair enough?
Some old lady says that's the last time you'll go out this week. Boy, did I tell her a thing or two.
So you're gonna join us tonight then?
Nah.
I know someone's in there.
Keep your shirt on.
Jimmy? Mama?
Ain't nobody's mama here, Toots.
What's going on? Where'd you put the furniture? And who are you people anyway?
Interior design engineers.
They're gone. Where'd they go?
You don't ask questions, lady. We just paint for the new tenant.
No tenants. That's impossible. When?
Next week.
Jimmy! Honey? He promised me.
Christmas and birthdays, the only two occasions, if you could remember those.
All right. I know I wasn't the perfect mother. But Jean, I do so want to see Jimmy. Are you going to let me see him?
Yes, I'll let you see him.
He knew about this then. He knew, and he never said a thing.
I'm sure Lori wouldn't mind you coming to dinner day. I mean, after all, it's her future we're discussing as well.
Just the same, I'd really feel better if you checked.
Ben hasn't learned the finer points of matrimony yet. He's still new to the territory.
True, but I'm a quick study. I'll be right back.
Dave, I'd like to get your opinion on a case that was just dropped in my lap this morning.
Oh, I don't know, Alex. It's been such a long time.
Oh, nonsense.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
It's funny you should call now.
Why, what's up?
I was just thinking about you.
Well, you say that as if there's other things you think about.
Only a few.
Lori, I have just met the most interesting person.
Not too interesting, I hope.
Actually, he may turn out to be very important to us.
Oh? In what way?
Well, actually important to my career, but it's the same thing.
Don't tell me. He's a wealthy old doctor who's ready to retire, and he wants to turn over his very prosperous practice to you.
Almost. His name's Dave Phillips. You'll never believe this, but he wants to start a clinic in Chesterfield. Now, isn't that incredible? Lori, did you hear me?
I heard you.
Isn't it great?
It's hardly what you described.
Oh, come on, Lori. Are we going to go through this again?
I'm trying, Ben, but every time you assure me of one thing, I think of something else.
Now what is it?
Well, it's not the safest place in the city, you know.
You're supposed to be practicing medicine on your patients, not defending yourself against them.
Lori, I know that, but they need me. Us. There.
I know that, Ben. But did you read about that old couple who run that grocery store? And what those kids did to them?
What about Liz and Jeff? The bookmark's right around there, and the Lord's looking over them. Lori, if this is God's will, we can't stand in his way. Anyway, a lot more discussion and prayer has to go into this before anything is decided. So...
Ben, I hope you didn't. At least not for tonight.
I did. What did I forget? Ah, never mind, I just remembered. Dinner at your mother's, right?
Right.
Well, what about tomorrow night, then?
You know, I don't think Mom would mind an extra guest. And in fact, it might be good for her to meet someone new. Why don't I give her a call?
That's terrific. Wait, that won't be necessary. She just walked in.
Oh, good. Well, tell her I'll bring dessert and no arguments.
Okay, talk to you later. Love you.
Ben, if your wife is half as pretty as her mom, I'm jealous.
What charming and perceptive friends you have.
Well, they also make great dinner guests.
Oh?
I invited Dave for dinner tonight, completely forgetting that we're supposed to eat at your house.
Oh, listen, Ben, why don't we make it for some other night then,
Oh,
okay?
boy, I'd love you to come, Dave.
Great. Lori says she's got dessert.
Is 6:30 all right?
Why not? The way you two plan things, I seem to hardly have a choice here.
What about you, Alex?
Oh, no, thanks, Terry. I've got a date with the dictaphone. Oh, Ben, how did Lori feel about your plans?
Oh, she was just as excited as I was. I hope.
that you? Jenny? What are you doing? Why didn't you answer when I called? What is that you put under the cushion?
Nothing.
Well, let me see it.
Mommy, please don't be mad at me.
Well, what is it? An F on a math test? Jenny, that's your best subject. What happened?
I don't know.
Well, aren't you feeling well?
I couldn't remember fast enough.
There has to be a reason for it. Why?
Maybe I didn't study hard enough?
Did you study at all?
I guess I didn't. Jill took me to the park, and then we went downtown, and... Well, I guess I forgot.
Does Jill make the rules around here?
No, ma'am.
Jenny, do you understand why you failed this test?
Yes, ma'am. Mommy, my teacher was mad. I don't want to go back to school tomorrow. I'm so sorry, and please don't be mad at me.
Well, I won't be mad as long as you're sorry, and you promise that it won't happen again. It is only one test. You will do better on the next one.
I will, promise.
Hey, I'm not smoking in the house like you said.
Good. Jill, could we talk for a minute?
I have a feeling we're going to whether I want to or not.
Actually, Jeff was going to speak with you this morning before he left, but you weren't up yet.
Yeah, for some reason I really wiped out.
You don't suppose that had anything to do with the fact that you were up until all hours last night?
Oh, did I disturb you?
Unfortunately, no. But I was disturbed when I found out that Jenny was with you.
I thought...
Jill, why would you do something like that? She had school today.
I thought she'd enjoy the movie.
She needs her sleep.
Come on, kids like Jenny breeze through school no matter what they do.
Hardly. She came home from school in tears today because she failed a math test.
And that's all my fault?
Well, you did keep her out all yesterday afternoon when she should have been studying.
I didn't force her to go.
Jill, she's a little girl. Do you think she's going to discipline herself?
The kid deserves a good time now and then.
That's not the point. Another thing, I came home fully expecting to find you and Jenny, and both of you were gone, and there was no note again explaining your absence. What was I supposed to think?
Probably that we hopped a train and we're on our way out of town.
Where were you this afternoon?
I'm hiding a convict in the garage, and we're planning our escape. I didn't know this was a prison, Mrs. Cummings.
It isn't. But we discussed certain rules, and you agreed to them.
Yeah.
Jill, is there something you'd like to say?
Why bother?
I think we're going to have to discuss this further when Jeff gets home.
By all means, we'll have to.
Jill.
Save it till the warden gets home. May I go to my room now?
Yes.
Was that section 4 or 5 you were interested in?
Where's Jean?
Could you hold on a second? I'll be with you in a minute.
Oh, no, you won't. You'll be with me right now.
That was a very important phone call.
You're right, honey, it was. Now, where's Jean?
He took the day off.
I'll bet he did. And what for, may I ask?
He's moving today.
Oh, that's a good answer. Now for the $1 million bonus question, where?
Oh, he didn't tell you?
Brilliant. Keep up the good work, honey. You got a bright future ahead of you in the government.
You have no right to come barging in here and demand anything.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Is that his address? Give it to me.
No, this is just some important information I need for later.
Well, that's not the only one around here.
You stop that. That's against the law.
Oh, it's against the law, is it? I'll tell you what's against the law. A father keeping his child away from its mother, that's what.
Stop it! You stop it!
Please tell me. Please tell me where he is. Please. I promise Jean will never know you told me. Please.
Miss Redmond, is there someone I can call?
You don't understand. Nobody does. It's been so difficult these past 2 years without them, and now this.
I think you need a glass of water. I'll be right back.
I need to ask you some things about Jimmy.
Jimmy, you've got him. Why don't you ask him yourself? His favorite color is yellow. His favorite book is The Hobbit. His favorite baseball team is the Dodgers.
Oh, stop it, Jean, please. I came here to talk about custody.
Did you have to come here to talk?
There's no good place as far as you're concerned.
Then why don't you take the hint, Carla? The topic of custody is out of the question.
I need to know where we stand.
You know where I stand. I'm right where I've been standing with that kid all of his life. Most conspicuously for the past 2 years with him.
I don't want to cause trouble for you, Jean, or for Jimmy either, but I just want you to recognize my rights.
Ah, you cashed in your rights, lady.
Aren't you just hurt because Jimmy wants to stay with me?
I'm not convinced that he does. And I'm even less convinced that you know the first thing about providing a home for any kid that they can count on from one day to the next.
Don't you think I understand what he needs? Why do you think I came back here?
I don't know, Carla. But I'm not gonna sit around here and put any stock into your little promises, woman. And I'm sure not gonna let you take my kid someplace and try to raise him in a string of hotels until you get tired of responsibility. No way, woman.
I don't want to cause trouble for you, Jean. And I'd hoped you believe me, or at least believe Jimmy. But even if you don't, a judge will. Because kids don't lie.
Look here. Now, Jimmy is old enough to not want to hurt you. He's been through rejection before. And I think you're just using that for all it's worth.
That's not true.
You get out of here.
I'll never see my baby again.
Dave, there's one thing about your story that I don't understand.
Oh, what's that?
Well, if things got as bad for you as you say, why didn't you lose your medical license?
Somehow, through the alcoholic fog I was in, I realized that if I ever harmed a patient, I'd probably be in worse trouble than I already was in. So I just withdrew from active practice.
I see.
Yeah, it's a miracle I got as far as I did.
Well, it just shows that the Lord's looking after us, even when we don't acknowledge him.
Right.
Well, I'm glad that things turned out the way they did. You know, now there's a possibility of you joining Ben and starting the clinic.
Good idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Lori,
so
take it
clumsy.
easy.
Honey, are you all right? You haven't said hardly anything all evening.
I'm fine. Really.
Oh. I'll get it. Excuse me.
Sure. Get up to you.
Yes, wonderful.
Karen! How you doing? What a pleasant surprise!
Well, I hope so.
Oh, come on in.
I do hate it when people pop in on me unexpectedly, but then I did try calling.
Oh, you're welcome anytime, so don't give it another thought.
Well, I'm on my way to New York on a buying trip, and I thought, well, I'll drop by and say hello.
Well, it's so good to see you, Aunt Karen.
Am I ever going to get you to drop that hand stuff? Oh, and my favorite nephew-in-law. Don't tell Roger I said that.
Oh,
we won't.
Even if I knew him, I wouldn't tell him.
I don't know you. How are you? I'm Karen Davidson.
You never change, do you? Dave Phillips, this is Scott's very forthright sister.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
Well, I hope that's one thing that doesn't change.
Karen.
Where's Pete?
Peter's at a basketball game.
Don't tell me they're making elevator gym shoes now.
Oh, Karen, it's a good thing he's not here to...
He's watching, not playing it.
Well, maybe next year. Place looks back to normal, Terry.
Well, we're getting there.
I know you are. Best move Scotty ever made was marrying you.
Oh, Karen, thank you.
I miss him so much. Well, anyone for a game of canasta?
No. And if you insist upon hustling Peter out of any more nickels, you're out of the family.
Oh, speaking about hustling, how's that sister of yours? Uh-oh. I guess I went a bit too far. I'm sorry.
No, Karen, it's not you. It's just
What
that,
Mom's
well,
trying to say is that Nancy's trying to get every penny that she can out of Grandma's estate.
It's been kind of a nasty situation. She's produced a will from somewhere that claims Nora left everything to her.
That little snip.
Not only that, but somehow Mother's original will has disappeared, including the copy that was filed in the attorney's office.
Greedy hands do have a long reach. I guess I haven't arrived here a moment too soon. My dear sister-in-law, I have exactly what you need in order to put an end to Nancy Lawson's greed, once and for all.